Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about something that I believe every one of us at some point in our lives faces. A moment when you realize that you need a new path. Now I know change is hard. It's uncomfortable. It forces you to step into the unknown, and there's fear in that. But I'm here to tell you, if you're feeling lost or stuck, if you're hearing that whisper deep inside your soul that something needs to change, that's God talking to you. He knows you need a new path. Self-reflection and awareness are critical in recognizing when you need a new path. Life has a funny way of keeping us on tracks we get comfortable with, even when they no longer serve our purpose. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in routine, in the norm, that we forget to stop and ask ourselves if we are truly where we need to be. It's easy to become content with what we know, even when it's not necessarily the best thing for us. But the truth is, self-reflection is an essential tool in personal growth. It's the process of looking inward, acknowledging where you are in life, and deciding if the journey you're on is leading you to where you truly want to go. There's nothing wrong with being content or even feeling stable, but stability can easily morph into stagnation if we're not careful. The world is constantly changing, and in order to grow, we need to evolve with it. Self-awareness is the first step in understanding when you've outgrown your current path. It's about asking yourself, am I truly happy? Am I reaching my potential? Am I living the life I was meant to live? These are tough questions, but they are the ones that prompt change. Sometimes we don't notice that we're stuck because we're so focused on surviving, on getting through the day. But the danger is that if we don't take the time to reflect on where we are, we may wake up one day and realize we've been walking down the same road for years without ever questioning if it was the right one. It's important to have that awareness, to be honest with yourself about your current situation, and to acknowledge that sometimes you have to change course to grow into the person you're meant to be. Self-reflection can also help us identify patterns in our lives, patterns that may no longer serve us. Maybe you keep making the same mistakes, or maybe you keep finding yourself in the same type of relationships or jobs that leave you feeling unfulfilled. Recognizing these patterns is a powerful first step toward changing them. If you don't take a moment to look at your life with a critical eye, how will you ever know what needs to be fixed? It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day struggles, but if you really look at your life from an outside perspective, you'll often realize that you've been following a path that doesn't align with your true values or goals. Self-awareness also brings clarity about the future. When you understand your current state, your strengths, your weaknesses, and where you want to go, you can start to see the opportunities that may have previously been hidden. These opportunities could be in the form of a new career path, a different relationship, or even a new perspective on life. The key is that once you acknowledge where you are, you give yourself the space to explore what else might be possible. Without that awareness, we often stay stuck in situations we've outgrown because we don't even realize we have the option to change. But the truth is, growth and change are necessary for a fulfilling life. Life is about evolution, about taking the lessons learned from one phase and carrying them into the next. It's about looking at yourself honestly and saying, this isn't where I want to be anymore. That's when you'll start to realize that the next step, the new path, is just around the corner, waiting for you to take it. Faith and belief in a higher power are powerful forces that can help guide us when we face the crossroads of change. It's easy to get lost in our own understanding of the world, believing that everything we do is solely dependent on our efforts. But the reality is we are not in control of everything, and there is a greater power at play. When we trust in that higher power, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and new paths that we may never have considered on our own. God has a plan for each of us, and even when we don't see the road ahead clearly, we can take comfort in knowing that He is leading us where we need to go. In those moments when life feels uncertain or when we feel overwhelmed by the idea of change, faith becomes the anchor. Believing in something bigger than ourselves allows us to let go of the fear and anxiety that often accompany the unknown. Trusting in God's plan for us means understanding that even when we can't see the full picture, we don't have to have all the answers. Faith is the belief that even when things seem impossible, there is a path meant for us. That path may not be the easiest, but it's the one that will take us exactly where we need to be, even if it's not where we imagined we would end up. Many times in life, we are faced with moments of doubt, questioning whether we're on the right path or whether the changes we want to make will lead us to where we truly belong. That's when faith comes into play. It's in those times of doubt that we must remind ourselves that we're not walking this journey alone. When we lean on our faith and trust that God knows exactly what we need, we begin to see opportunities we might have missed otherwise. There's a comfort in knowing that the decisions we make are not just about our individual desires, but part of a larger purpose that is greater than ourselves. Faith doesn't mean that we don't experience struggles. In fact, faith often becomes most important during those tough times. It's easy to trust when everything is going well, but true belief is tested when things aren't going as planned. When we face failure or setbacks, that's when our faith is truly called into action. The belief that there is a greater plan and that we are exactly where we need to be, even if it doesn't feel that way, gives us the strength to move forward. Faith is the reminder that everything happens for a reason and the challenges we face are part of the bigger picture, molding us and preparing us for what's next. Belief in a higher power gives us a sense of peace that no amount of material success or personal achievement can provide. It's the assurance that even when life feels chaotic or uncertain, we are being guided by something greater. And when we trust in that guidance, when we open ourselves up to the path that is being set before us, we find a strength that we didn't know we had. Faith encourages us to let go of the need for control, to trust the timing of life, and to believe that even in the most difficult moments, we are not alone. It's this trust in God's plan that leads us to the new paths we need, paths that might not always make sense at first, but ultimately lead to growth, healing, and transformation. When we face a crossroads in life, it's natural to question everything. But it's in these moments of questioning that we must lean into our faith and trust that God is leading us toward the life He has intended for us. The journey may not always be clear, but with faith we gain the courage to step forward, knowing that we are supported and loved no matter where the path takes us. Overcoming fear and doubt is perhaps one of the most challenging obstacles we face when contemplating a new path. It's human nature to be afraid of the unknown, to worry about what could go wrong, and to second-guess ourselves at every turn. But fear is a natural response to change. It's a part of being human. The key is not allowing that fear to control you. When faced with uncertainty, the ability to push past those doubts and take action is what separates those who grow from those who remain stuck. Fear and doubt often come hand in hand. Fear is the emotion we feel when we think about what might happen if we step out of our comfort zone. Doubt is the voice in our head telling us we aren't capable, that we might fail, or that it's safer to stay where we are. But what if we reframed fear as something else? Instead of seeing fear as something to avoid, what if we saw it as a signal that we're on the edge of growth? Fear tells us we're doing something outside of our norm, and that means we're pushing our boundaries. Fear is not a roadblock, it's an indicator that we're moving in the right direction. Doubt, on the other hand, is often rooted in insecurity. It's a reflection of the inner conversation we have with ourselves, questioning our worth, our abilities, and whether we deserve better. Doubt can be incredibly paralyzing, especially when we are considering making a significant change in our lives. But the reality is, doubt is just a thought. It's a feeling that we have the power to change. It doesn't have to define us, and it doesn't have to stop us from moving forward. When we learn to recognize fear and doubt for what they are, temporary feelings that do not define us, we can begin to take control. The trick is not to eliminate these feelings, but to push through them. Every time you make a decision despite your fears, you build resilience. Every time you challenge your doubts, you strengthen your belief in your abilities. It's not about never feeling fear or doubt, it's about learning how to act in spite of them. The process of overcoming fear and doubt requires a shift in mindset. Instead of focusing on everything that could go wrong, focus on what could go right. Visualize the success, the growth, and the joy that will come from taking that step forward. It's about building your confidence in the face of fear. Confidence doesn't come from a lack of fear. It comes from the ability to act even though you're afraid. The more you practice this, the more you'll realize that fear and doubt are just temporary emotions, not permanent obstacles. In the end, overcoming fear and doubt is a journey of self-discovery. It's about learning to trust yourself and your ability to navigate the challenges life throws at you. Fear may always be there, and doubt may occasionally creep in, but they no longer have to control your decisions. When you recognize that fear is simply a part of the process, and that doubt can be challenged and overcome, you can walk boldly into the new path that awaits you. Embracing new opportunities is often the key to unlocking a future full of growth and potential. Life is constantly presenting us with chances to change, evolve, and move forward. Yet many of us hesitate to take those opportunities because they require us to step outside of our comfort zones. It's understandable. Our comfort zones are familiar, safe places where we know what to expect. But it's in the unfamiliar, in the discomfort, that we often find our greatest potential. Embracing new opportunities requires us to be willing to let go of the past and step into the unknown. It requires trust in ourselves and in the process, even when we can't see the full picture of where the opportunity will lead. When we hold on to what's familiar, we're essentially putting limits on ourselves. Yes, it feels safe, but growth doesn't happen when we stay in the same place, doing the same things. New opportunities might look daunting at first, but every opportunity is a chance to learn something new, to acquire new skills, and to grow in ways we can't yet imagine. If you refuse to step into the unknown, you'll never discover what could be waiting for you on the other side. Taking on a new challenge may feel like a risk, but the risk is necessary for the reward. Whether it's a new job, a new relationship, or a new project, these opportunities are the vehicles that drive us toward the next phase of our lives. You can't grow unless you're willing to step forward into what's unfamiliar, embrace new opportunities. We also need to recognize that failure is not the end, but part of the process. We often see failure as something to avoid at all costs, but it is one of the most powerful teachers we can have. Failure shows us what doesn't work, and it helps refine our approach, our mindset, and our determination. It's in those moments of failure that we learn the most about ourselves and our ability to persevere. So when a new opportunity presents itself, don't be afraid to fail. Understand that failure is simply a stepping stone toward success, and every setback is a lesson that brings you closer to your goal. The real failure comes when you don't take the chance at all, when you let fear hold you back from the opportunities that are knocking at your door. Our lives are a series of decisions, and each decision opens a door to new possibilities. Choosing to embrace new opportunities is not just about taking risks. It's about recognizing that life is constantly evolving, and we need to evolve with it. Every new opportunity comes with the potential for transformation. But to seize that transformation, you have to be willing to step forward, even when you don't have all the answers, even when it feels uncomfortable. The only way to truly know what you're capable of is to take the chance and trust that, even in the midst of uncertainty, there's a chance for something amazing on the other side. Resilience and persistence are perhaps two of the most underrated qualities when it comes to achieving success and making progress in life. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go according to plan. We've all been there. We work hard toward a goal, and yet no matter how much effort we put in, we face setbacks, delays, and challenges that make us question whether it's even worth continuing. But resilience is about how you respond to those challenges, and persistence is about continuing to push forward even when the path seems unclear. Success doesn't happen overnight, and it rarely comes without its fair share of struggles. In fact, those struggles are often what build the strength necessary to achieve greatness. When faced with adversity, resilience doesn't mean bouncing back quickly without any scars. Resilience means being able to get up after each fall, learning from each failure and using it as fuel to keep going. It's about understanding that setbacks are part of the process, not roadblocks that stop you in your tracks. Life will test your determination, and how you respond to those tests will determine how far you go. Persistence is the act of staying the course even when things aren't easy. It's about maintaining focus on the bigger picture, even when the day-to-day challenges seem overwhelming. The people who succeed aren't always the most talented or the ones who never fail. They are the ones who keep going no matter what. Resilience and persistence go hand in hand. One without the other is not enough. You can be resilient in the face of challenges, but without persistence, you might not keep pushing forward for long enough to see the rewards. Similarly, you can persist in your efforts, but without resilience, the setbacks and obstacles might cause you to quit before you ever reach your goal. Together, they form the foundation of growth and success. When you build resilience and practice persistence, you become unstoppable. Life will challenge you, but with these qualities, you will always find a way to keep moving forward, to keep growing, and to ultimately achieve what you set out to do. Surrounding yourself with a supportive community can make all the difference when walking a new path. It's easy to feel isolated or discouraged when you're trying something new or stepping into unfamiliar territory. But the reality is that we are not meant to do this journey alone. Humans are social creatures, and we thrive when we have people around us who encourage us, challenge us, and remind us of our worth. A strong support system can help us navigate difficult times, celebrate our successes, and provide perspective when we're unsure of the next step. Community is not just about being around people, it's about surrounding yourself with the right people. Those who inspire you, challenge you to grow, and lift you up when you feel down. Whether it's friends, family, mentors, or colleagues, having a community that believes in you and your journey can provide the motivation and confidence you need to keep moving forward. These individuals act as a mirror, reflecting back your strengths and potential, even when you can't see them yourself. The encouragement of others is often the spark that keeps our fire burning when our own motivation wanes. Furthermore, a supportive community can offer valuable insights, advice, and guidance. When you are stepping into new opportunities or facing challenges, the perspectives of others who have walked similar paths can be invaluable. They can share what worked for them, what didn't, and provide lessons learned that can help you avoid unnecessary mistakes. This exchange of wisdom and experiences is a key part of the growth process. No one has all the answers, but together, as a community, we have the collective knowledge and strength to overcome challenges and make the most of the opportunities life throws our way. When you're on the path of growth and change, don't try to go it alone. Lean on those around you. Ask for help when you need it, and allow the support of others to empower you. With the right community by your side, the journey becomes not only more manageable, but also much more enjoyable. Together we are stronger, and with the right people surrounding us, there's no limit to what we can achieve. Self-reflection and awareness are critical to recognizing when you need a new path, and they offer the clarity necessary for growth. Life often becomes a series of routines where we are so caught up in the demands and expectations of day-to-day living that we forget to stop and evaluate our current situation. Many times, it takes a moment of quiet or an external event to awaken us to the reality that we're no longer moving forward, but rather we're simply going through the motions. Self-reflection allows us to check in with ourselves, to ask whether our current path is still in alignment with who we are becoming, or if we've just settled into a place that feels safe but no longer serves us. When we take the time to be truly honest with ourselves, we are able to pinpoint what is no longer working in our lives. And this awareness